This is the transition on Atlantic Television Network. River State Police Command has confirmed the death of 2 persons after gunmen shot and killed the youth who were on a surveillance duty at the site of a crude oil spill in Bodo, Gokana local government area of River State. Spokesperson of the State Police Command, Grace Eringe Koko, who confirmed the incident in a text message, said investigation is ongoing. The spill had occurred from a pipeline belonging to a multinational company which reportedly destroyed farmlands and rivers in the area. A source who gave her name as Celestina stated that these youths have been mandated by the community to keep watch over a recent oil spill site pending the completion of investigations into the cause of the spill and repairs on the affected pipeline. Speaking, the chairman of Gokana local government area, Confidence Deko, confirmed the incident, saying security operatives were contacted to forestall a possible breakdown of law and order. While urging the people to remain calm, the LG boss disclosed that he has summoned a meeting of elites in the community to discuss and review the challenges therein. 2 persons have been declared missing in Abia by the state's police command. They are Nicholas Umuju of 47 Imo Lane, Umuaya, and Chiuba Ewereji of Umwekbu. A statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer of Abia State Police Command, ASP Maureen Chioma Chinaka, said Mr. Nicholas Umuju was last seen on 18th of August this year, disclosing that all efforts made by his relatives to locate him yielded no fruit. The police added that Chimuba Enwereji, who is 28 years, left home on his motorcycle but has not been seen. The press release appealed to the general public to report the whereabouts of the two missing persons to the nearest police station or to the office of the police public relations officer at Bende Road, Umuahia. Two other persons, Mr. Chukwebuka Abel and Ms. Chikodi James, were earlier declared missing by the Abia State Police Command. People of Obiagu community, Agu local government area of Enugu State, continue to search for peace years after the community was thrown into crisis over choice of traditional ruler. 8 years after the demise of the former monarch, late Igwe DOC Aneke Ikemefune, the community has faced the Herculean task of finding his replacement. However, the deadlock was broken last year with the election of Igwe Okolo Sylvester Emeka Ojukwu as the new traditional ruler. This came to the fore as the community celebrated the New Yam Festival, Iriji Ohuru, after 8 years. The event, which was held at Igwe BK Primary School Field, Obiagu, showcased the growth, development, and progress of the community. The celebration also marked the ascension to the throne by the paramount ruler of the community, Igwe Ojukwu Chinyelugo I and Nevonugama III of Obiagu Ancient Kingdom. In a remark, the President General of Obiagu, Ogbuefi Callistus Ojiogbu, said the Iriji Festival was a way of honoring the ancestors and promoting the cultural heritage of the Obiagu Kingdom. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Gombe State Command has paraded 46 suspects arrested at local nightclubs, popularly known as Gidan Gala. The arrested suspects are made up of 32 females and 14 males. The state public relations officer of NSCDC, Muazu Said, while parading the suspects, explained that the arrest was made in compliance with Governor Mohammed Yahaya's directives that all local nightclubs be shut. He said that the command has been able to reach out to some of the parents of the suspects, adding that they would be charging them to court. According to him, the suspects were apprehended around 9 p.m. following the directive that was issued around 4 p.m. on Monday. The suspects, according to the State Command PPRO, were arrested at Sabon Gida BCGA, Jamia Garden Gala at New Mile 6, while others were arrested at Gidan Wasa, Gidan Drama, New Mile 3, and Liji along Kalshingi Road. Zamfara State Chapter of the All Progressives Congress has declared that the leaked bribery audio circulating on social media was aimed at tarnishing the image of the party. This is contained in a statement by the APC Publicity Secretary in the state, Yusuf Idris Gusau. He said in a statement that it should be made categorically clear that Anna Sani Anka is not a card-carrying member nor a good supporter of the APC in any way. Yusuf Idris Gusau urged all relevant security apparatus to uncover all those behind this cowardly act, including the person that made the recording. Federal government has announced 825.819 billion naira as compensation for indigents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to pave the way for the construction of the 4.2-kilometer second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike made the announcement on Tuesday after a negotiation meeting with the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, officials of both ministries and representatives of their agencies, as well as stakeholders from Jiwa, the affected community in Abuja. The 825.8 billion naira, according to the minister, is to incentivize the residents to vacate the community and seek their cooperation towards the completion of the 4.2-kilometer second Abuja runway project, originally awarded in 2022. Additionally, Wike declared that the FCT will construct a 5-kilometer bridge in the Tunga Madaki community and provide modern health care facility expected to serve as a temporary resettlement site for the indigents. Furthermore, the FCT minister charged the contractors to resume work, promising that the approved fund will be released from today, Wednesday. Jiwa community had earlier opened up negotiations with the federal government, demanding 2.5 million naira per hectare as compensation.
Now, time has come for action. First of all, on the metro line, those of you who heard what Mr. President said yesterday, he did give a marching order that he wants to ride on the metro line. And so it's a key project that we must achieve. We also have found out that a lot of residents have complained about the abandonment of projects in terms of road infrastructure. One basic thing that people understand and make a city is the road network. We're handling the issue of sanitation. We're handling the issue of street lights. We're also handling the issue of shanties and the rest of them. But the roads are very key. And so we're trying to see how we can map our strategies, structural funding, so that we don't have problems of completion. So we are determined, seriously, to make sure every contractor goes back to site. Not just going back to site with direct supervision from my office and the office of the Minister of State. The major problem we have had, or we're having in this country, is lack of supervision. We are not going to tolerate anything below standard. If there are people you have been working with who have a compromising standard, too bad, too bad. It's not with me, too bad. I'm not going to accept anything that below standard. In fact, for me, Abuja is easy to do construction here than to do construction in my state. And there are states where you have wetland and this is very difficult. So we're going to structure how we're going to fund you, how every contractor will go back to site and do work. Ordinarily, I would have gone back to look at performance or no performance. But I felt that I don't need to go back. Let's move forward. I've agreed with my Honorable Minister of State. I have told the management we must restructure the way projects are funded. We must not fund projects depending only on the national budget. We must also fund projects also through our direct our generated revenue. It will not be palatable with everybody, but I will want to achieve results. It will not be palatable with everybody, but I will want to achieve results. I will not be a party to give us contracts, and then there's no money to fund. We prefer, if I give out only 3 contracts, let it be 3 contracts. And then we're able to achieve. Not award 20 contracts at the end of the day or not achieved anyone. It doesn't make sense to me. So even the resurfacing, as they call it, I have said I'm not going to look at it. We're going to move on. And we're going to fund you, give you your money. You go to start there, you will tell us the time within which the project will be finished, because I'm going to attach funds to it. If we agree 3 months, it's 3 months. If I agree 6 months, it's 6 months. I hear no excuses at all, because I know that we're not going to owe. Yes, we're not going to owe.
You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break. Welcome back. This is Atlantic Television Network Transition. Now the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new board and management team of the Niger Delta Development Commission, inclusive of the following board and management team members. A statement by Ajiri Ngilale, special advisor to the president in media and publicity, named Mr. Chiedu Ebie as chairman from Delta, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, Managing Director, CEO, Bayelsa, Mr. Boma Iyaye, Executive Director, Finance and Admin, Rivers, Mr. Victor Antai, Executive Director, Projects, Akwa Ibom, and Ifedayo Abegunde, Executive Director, Corporate Services, Ondo. Others are Senator Dimaru Deyambofa, State Representative Bayelsa, Mr. Abasi Ndikan Nkono, State Representative Akwa Ibom, Right Honorable Monday Ibuya, State Representative Delta, Tony Okocha, State Representative Rivers, Honorable Patrick Aisowere, State Representative Edo, and Mr. Kirian Uchebu, State Representative Imo. The statement also added Victor Kolade Akinjo, State Representative Ondo, Dimba Eruba, State Representative Abia, Mr. Asu Okang, State Representative Cross River, Honorable Nick Mwende, Zonal Representative North Central, Honorable Namdas Abdurazak, Zonal Representative Northeast, and Senator Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi Gobi, Zonal Representative Northwest. The President expects that the new board and management team will ensure a new era of successful administration in the NDDC, in line with his renewed hope agenda, adding that all of the above listed appointments take immediate effect. House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating job racketeering in federal ministries, departments, and agencies has summoned vice-chancellors of all federal universities to appear on Friday with documentary evidences on allegations bordering on bribery and extortion levied against them by a member of the Ad Hoc Committee. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Yusuf Gadi, issued the notice on Tuesday during the resumed investigative hearing on job racketeering across over 900 MDAs. Dismissing allegation on extortion of MDAs by members of the Ad Hoc Committee, as published by an online media, Honorable Gadi called on the media to be credible in their reportage, noting that the online media is unfair by tagging all the 37 members of the Ad Hoc Committee as corrupt. He points out that the Ad Hoc Committee cannot give in to any form of sponsored blackmail by any persons or group.
We are determined to do justice to Nigerians in the course of this investigation. My only appeal to the members of the third estate of the realm, the praised force, is that let us be credible journalists. If you have anything to say about us, be categorical. Don't accuse my members blindly. Tell us who is accusing who, instead of tagging this committee as a corrupt committee. Is unacceptable to us. We are not. We are not, and we will never be. Nigerians have hope in us, and this will be the first in the history of National Assembly that you will see a mind-blowing recommendation that is aimed and targeted as cleaning our public service. So the statement is simple. We will not be deterred. But don't bring an inducting headlines in the name of selling your newspaper or agency. Please, I'm saying this in regard to the statement method attributed to the Premium Times of today.
Gadi further insisted that a system of waiver introduced into the recruitment process in the country by the Federal Character Commission is unlawful and will be abolished.
I will continue to say, for the first time, I will tell Nigerians that waiver doesn't even exist in Federal Character Commission Act. It doesn't. The Act itself doesn't say waiver should be granted.
Thank you, sir.
It was a creation of the Federal Character Commission plenary. It was like a resolution of the commissioners of the Federal Character. And if it is not part of the law, we, this committee, assure Nigerians that waiver is dead, because certainly we will recommend for the abolishment of waiver in recruitment process in the Nigeria's ministries and department of government. So the assurance you will give us, we are giving you assurance that waiver will not exist. Without giving us assurance, be rest assured that waiver will not exist in our recruitment process by the special grace of God.
He said Nigerians have hope in the committee, and this will be the first in the history of the National Assembly that mind-blowing recommendations that is aimed at sanitizing the public service will be seen. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency says that the recent flooding experienced in some states are flash floods usually caused by rainfall. The agency also called on state governments to make adequate plans for free flow of water, particularly in the rainy season. Director General of the agency, Engineer Clement Oyenso, while briefing newsmen in Abuja, said what was experienced in Nigeria regarding flooding is not associated with opening of water dam in Cameroon or Niger. Correspondent Rotimi Adewuyi reports.
Based on the location of Nigeria being in the downstream of River Niger, the volume of water coming from over 7 countries flow into Nigeria, as well as the River Benue flowing in from Cameroon. This excess flow of waters Nigeria has to deal with, as well as the yearly downpour of rain year in, year out, causing flooding in many states in Nigeria. However, given the recent flood situation in some states, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, said the flooding is as a result of rainfall, lack of drainage systems, or inadequate drainage system, blockage of the drainage system, or building within the flood plains or riverbanks. The agency, however, called on state government to take urgent precautionary measures to ensure free flow of water in the coming months.
The things we are supposed to do, I can maybe mention some of them again. Deseal some of the rivers within their localities. Clean your drainages. Construct adequate drainage systems. Remove structures that are within the river banks or within the floodplain. Give a certain offset or setback from your rivers. So that the state should summon the courage to remove such structures. Like here in Abuja, I think more than 250 houses have been earmarked for demolition. Like I always say, maybe nobody is going to contest for election here in Abuja as a governor. So the minister, like under El-Rufai, know what he did here. So you cannot vote him out during the next election. So maybe the governor, maybe if I do this and they say, because I'm not in the ruling party, that's what they have to remove. So they should summon courage and do the right thing to remove structures that are within the flood plains. And they were given adequate notice in February.
Speaking further, the Director General Clement Oyenso said the dams on River Niger, Kianji, and Jeba, and Shiruro on River Kaduna are all compounding water, which he said has brought down the level of waters in Lokoja, giving lower level of flood as at the 29th of August, going into the last quarter of the year.
No release of water from any of the dams within Nigeria. And the measurement we have in Lokoja, as at today, is much less than the corresponding days or day in 2022 or even 2012. So we have lower value of flood as at today. Downstream, the confluence in Lokoja. Though Makurdi value is a bit high compared to the corresponding date in 2012 or 2022, but there's no cause for alarm. And then in Niamey, Niger Republic, the flow level there is normal. It's about 4.30 meters. It is when it will, from normal, it goes to yellow threshold, from yellow to orange, from orange before it goes to red. So it is still far away from anything to cause alarm to Nigeria. So Malanville in Benin Republic, I'm talking about a local station which we also monitor. Malanville is in Benin Republic. From Niamey, it comes to Malanville before Nigeria. The flow level is quite normal. So generally speaking, there is no cause for alarm as of today, but we are following the development. The flood incidents we have already had within Nigeria were caused by flash flood.
While there is no cause for alarm regarding flooding at the moment in Nigeria, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency said it is following developments from neighboring countries and correspondents within Nigeria, calling on state governments to be courageous to remove structures within the waterways and construct adequate drainages to convey waters and prevent flooding. From Abuja, Rotimi Adewuyi, ATN News.
And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Anita Obari. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.